Hello and welcome back to Throttle Up. Well, Skoda wasn't lying when they said they are simply clever. Because this variant is as clever as it can get in terms of positioning, pricing, and the overall features that this variant offers. Skoda launched the Ambition Classic variant this year itself for the Kushaq, and I believe it comes at exactly the right price with exactly the right features and exactly what you expect from a car at this price range. Now, at the risk of giving everything away in the starting of the review itself, it was an expression to show how serious Skoda is about having a bigger market share in this price bracket of 10 to 15 lakhs and really winning over the Creta, Seltos, and even the multiple compact SUVs that we have in this price range. Now, before we go ahead with the Skoda Kushaq's Ambition Classic variant, which I have already mentioned is the most value for money in my opinion, I should thank the amazing managers and the very courteous staff at Berkeley Skoda Industrial Area Phase 1 Panchkula for providing me access to all the Skoda cars. Now, if you want to check out any of the Skoda cars, this showroom is the one to go for because the cars are in impeccable condition. The staff will guide you through all the features and all the offers which Skoda has to offer for Kushaq, Slavia, Superb, Octavia, and the Kodiaq. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the review. Now, the Ambition Classic variant of the Kushaq comes with the single 1 liter turbo petrol option, and you do not get any option for the 1.5 petrol. It does, however, get both the transmission options, one being the manual and second being the 6-speed torque converter automatic. Now, this 1 liter turbo petrol produces a maximum power of 115 PS and a maximum torque of 178 Newton meters. It does get plastic cladding on the engine and there's no insulation on the bonnet, but the bonnet is really heavy, so that's a one last hope for the lesser cabin noise. All in all, a neat looking engine which is not too shabby to look at. Now, the front profile is an out and out Skoda. It is neat, it is bold, it is sharp, and exactly what you would expect from a Skoda. I believe Skoda is the only European car maker which knows the exact dimensions of how a grille should be like. You get a proper ADAM with this plastic skid plate finished in silver. There's a decent amount of chrome usage as you can see on the grille with black slat design for the main grille. Now, this is the headlamp setup, which is very identical to one in the style variant also. This is the LED DRL, LED projector and turn indicators which are halogen. Now, this is how it looks like when it's lit up. You get LED white projectors, LED DRLs and these 4 chrome lines which reflect that white light and looks very gorgeous indeed. Now, the fog lamps are in halogen yellow treatment, which is kind of odd because you would expect it to be a complete white treatment, but again, it's not the top variant and even the top variant does not get an all white setup. So we can't complain that about really, although the projector setup gets the cornering function in this variant as well. Now, coming to the side profile, the length of the car is 4225 millimeters with a wheelbase of 2651 millimeters, which is not bad ideally. The overhangs on the front and the back are not really huge, so the wheelbase is very proportionate to that of the length of the car itself. The black plastic cladding is also present across the wheel arches and the bottom of the doors. Now, onto the individual treatments, you get this gloss black finish with Skoda written in this chrome boomerang surround. There's the black plastic cladding which I was talking about, which runs from the start to the very end. Now, this is a 205/60R16 alloy wheel. It's a 16 incher, but it does not get the dual tone treatment. But the good part is that alloy design is very easy on the eye and does not look bad at all. The door handles are body colored and you do not get any chrome on the door sill as well. So a very less uses of chrome, which is kind of really nice as well. It also gets the roof rails which are sort of functional and that shark fin antenna is finished in gloss black. Now, I love how these two lines which emerge from that Skoda badging on the fender go across the doors and the fuel lid as well. Now, body colored ORVMs with turn indicators on the ORVM itself. I love these dual line treatment which go to the very end, cutting that fuel lid and the door very precisely, very nice. Now, this is the Skoda Kushaq's rear profile. You have to give it to European car makers for being so consistent in their design language. I don't think any other car maker from any other part of the world can be so consistent in making their designs instantly recognizable. Now you get Skoda badging with a lot of spacing between those letters, this Kushaq badging as well. Rear parking camera with rear parking sensors with this black and silver finish on the bottom. You also get the rear wiper, rear defogger, and the stop lamp which is housed inside that spoiler design. So I like that touch. As for the tail lamps, a lot of halogen treatment, but for the main LED tail lamp, it's a crystal design which Skoda likes to call it as. This is how it looks like when it's lit up. So it's kind of the horizontal L-shaped or boomerang, whatever you want to see it as. That's LED crystals, the reflectors are at the bottom, and halogen for the turn indicators and the reverse lights. So they could have given that as LED, but nonetheless, what can you do? This is the boomerang shape I was talking about. That's at the halogen and that's the reflector. So this is black plastic with this silver sort of diffuser design. A fake exhaust like design going on there on the left and right with this hexagonal mesh, but the real exhaust is on the left. The good part is that those fake exhausts are not highlighted through the usage of any chromes, so they're almost inconspicuous. Coming to the boot is 385 liters and is adequately sized, but the wheel still eats up a bit of that space in the boot. You get the halogen lamp with this mesh-like design, I don't know. The wheel is a steel wheel, so you do not get an alloy for the fifth wheel, and it's a size smaller, so that's a 15-inch wheel. You also get the 60-40 split in this Ambition Classic variant, which you do not get in the Active variant. Now let's go to the back seat of the car. Now the door pads have a lot of plastic usage. You hardly see any usage of leather on those door pads. So this is fabric, this is hard plastic, hard plastic, hard plastic yet again. This mesh-like design which intertwines with the speaker, so I like that. This is very neatly done chrome handles with this 3D dotted design, so that's nice attention to detail. Now you get orange and grey stripes running across those seats, and they are finished in suede, so that's not exactly fabric. It's kind of a premium fabric, so to say. You also get the Isofix child mounts as well. So I like the design that they have done on the seats itself. Now the legroom is adequate. The seats are actually pushed for the back, the driver's side I'm talking about. But it's good. You can see there's a lot more space because the co-driver seat is actually pushed forward. You can see the legroom is nice. Nothing to complain about, but nothing extraordinary as well. The thigh support is really nice. There's decent cushioning and very comfortable, so no issues whatsoever. The recline angle is bit on the upright side. I would have liked if they were more reclined. You get the armrest with twin cup holders. This is again fabric, or rather suede as Skoda likes to call it for the Ambition variant, Ambition Classic specifically. You get AC vents as well with this piano black surrounds and brushed aluminium on the AC vents. You get two Type-C USB sockets as well. This is the brushed aluminium which I was talking about. So nice looking center console as well for the back. The grab handles do not get that cut in the roofline which the top variants get and even the Slavia gets. This lamp right now is not working because I think the ignition is not off or the demo car's battery is down, but this is finished in white, so that's a nice touch. Now this is how the dashboard looks like. Very nice, very European, very Skoda-ish. Again, I've mentioned Skoda-ish a lot of times in this review, but again, you would get what I'm trying to say based on that premiumness and the elements that they have played around with. Now you also get the magazine holders on the both the sides as well. Overall, a good space to be in. You do not miss out on any features which you would expect in the car of this price range. Now coming to the front doors of the car, very similar treatment to what we saw in the back doors as well. Now fabric on the door handles and this dark silver boomerang surrounds across the door handle. So I really like that touch, and with the same dotted finish behind that chrome handle. Hard plastics, a lot of usage of hard plastic. This is fabric. You get electrical adjustment for the ORVMs. They're also auto foldable. This is all plastic. This is plastic. Again, the mesh-like design with the speaker. You get the string in the bottle holder as well to secure your stuff. Now, manual adjustability for the driver's side height adjust and the backrest adjust. So there's no electrical adjustment on offer. There is the backrest adjust, and this is for height adjust. Dead pedal, which is properly given. 3 pedals. Since this is a manual, there's no cubby hole. This is for the fuse maybe. So, but you can't open it as such. This is for the headlight leveler and headlight adjust, fog light adjust. These are the different looking AC vents which we see in all the variants of the Kushaq, finished in piano black. This is a key fob. You get this pop out button to pop out the key, 3 buttons to lock, unlock and release the tailgate. So a very Skoda looking key fob and nicely done. You do not get any engine start stop feature in this Ambition Classic variant. So you have to put the key in that space and start the ignition. So we'll do just that. This is the steering wheel and the instrument cluster which greets you. You get the analog treatment with the TFT MID. The steering is adjustable for reach as well as rake, and there's this convenient positioning for the lever to do that, the adjustability of the steering. It's finished in very soft plastic with this piano black and chrome surrounds across this logo, and this chrome surround running across that steering wheel. Infotainment controls are on the left with this brushed aluminum scrolling knobs for on both the sides, and MID controls, and the cruise control is on the right. Only MID is actually on the right because the cruise control has a stock. Now coming to the instrument cluster, let's start the ignition first. Now this is how the ignition looks like. The speedometers on the right and the tachometers on the left. You get a TFT, a rather small TFT in between with this digital display as well for the speedometer. You can change the settings and browse to different screens using this button on the steering wheel itself. You can see the driving information, the odometer. The left button is to set the time and look at the service intervals. The small dial within the tachometer is for the engine temperature, and the small dial within the speedometer is for the fuel gauge. So this is how the dashboard looks like. They have played around with lot of chrome and plastic and different dotted plastic elements with this beige treatment so as to give it a dual tone effect as well. Now this infotainment is an 8 inch, although you might be thinking that Skoda promised a 10-inch setup, but they are discontinuing the 10-inch touchscreen and coming up with this 8-inch touchscreen with those touch buttons and rotary dials, and they claim it's because of the chip shortage. You get a host of features. You can see the driving information for the long term, the one trip information as well, coming to the mileage and all of that. You get wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay with these two rotary dials to control the power and the volume. You also get Skoda apps, that's the main menu to control media. You also get the connected car tech features as well. So that's to control your equalizer and audio settings. That's for your system settings when it comes to the infotainment and other car settings as well. The touch is very responsive and even the UI is very nice. So you can also adjust the brightness through here, just like you can do in the phones as well. I appreciate that they have given the rotary dials for the volume and to control the power and the tracks, which is a really nice thing. You get this chrome surround in a bracket-like format with piano surrounds across the AC vents as well. So I like how they are very neat, not in your face, and they have not experimented unnecessarily with the design of those AC vents. But that's just the story for the center AC vents because they have experimented with the side AC vents. Now the buttons below are for your hazard lamp, door lock unlock, and auto start stop enabler. Now it does not get climate control since that is particularly the only major feature which is there in the Ambition variant but not in the Ambition Classic variant. So that seems to be the only difference, and you can get that for a difference of 30,000 for upgrading to the Ambition variant instead of the Ambition Classic. You get two Type-C USB sockets and no USB socket, no wireless charger as well. There's a 12-volt socket for your power needs, piano black surrounds, usage of dark silver on the center console which feels nice to look at and also to touch, so it's sturdy. The gear knob is finished in plastic on the top but it's finished in leather at the bottom and has the piano black and chrome surrounds. That's some space to keep your key. This is the manual handbrake finished in black. 3 setup for the cup holders which is kind of adequate for 2. Fabric sliding center console armrest which has a lot of space. It's very deep. Now the glove box is adequately sized. It's not too small, not too big, and it also comes with a cold function. There is no halogen lamp or any sort of lamp on offer in the glove box, but it's finished in beige plastic which feels nice to touch and it's adequately sized, so no complaints in that regard. Now there are 5 elements which is all hard plastic, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 elements altogether. This chrome line running across the dashboard with black plastic on the top dotted in between with this silverish appeal and black and beige plastic. So there are so many colors that they have played with, but they still somehow come together and form a very nice looking dashboard indeed. There's some space in the center to keep your stuff, maybe place a murti of your god. So there's a proper space dedicated to that. Now Skoda written on that metallic finish on the dashboard. The sun visor on the co-driver side gets a mirror, but you do not get any mirror on the driver's side. There's no lamp on either side. Now you do get the lamps in the front which has a twin white treatment just like in the back itself. There's also a sunglass holder on offer because there's no sunroof, because sunglass holder is not available in the style variant, but since the sunroof is exclusive to the style variant, you do not get any sunroof in this Ambition Classic variant. Now coming to the seats are finished in suede with this black and orange line running across from the top to the bottom. This is the line which I was talking about. The bolstering is nice, nothing you can really be unsure about or uncomfortable in that car. You do get adjustable headrests, but you do not get any seatbelt adjuster in this variant of the Kushaq. Now the Ambition Classic variants only gets 2 airbags because 6 airbags are reserved only for the Style variant, which is the top model. Now as for the practicality and whether should you consider this variant, I've already mentioned that this is the most value for money variant you can go for in the Skoda Kushaq because one, the features that it offers over the active variant is a lot, and the difference between the active and the Ambition Classic is 1,40,000, which is justified for the features it offers. And two, the premium which Skoda wants you to spend for the Ambition and the Style variant is not particularly justified because all the features that you would need are essentially in this variant itself. So the Style and Ambition are only offering feel good and some luxury features over a lot of difference. So the Ambition variant costs around 30,000 plus over the Ambition Classic variant, which basically only gets you the automatic climate control and the connected car tech features. 30,000 is still justified if you want that, but Ambition Classic and Style have a difference of 2,60,000 for the 1 liter turbo petrol manual. So that's a lot of difference for some features like ventilated seats, sunroof, tire pressure monitoring system, rain sensing wipers, engine start stop button, and two other features here and there. The difference of 260 is a lot, and that too for the same engine spec and the transmission. However, if you want to go for the 1.5 TSI, you would have to go for the Style variant because there is no option for the 1.5 TSI in this variant itself. The manual variant of the Ambition Classic comes at an ex-showroom of 12,70,000, whereas the automatic variant for this same variant and the engine comes at around 14,10,000. So you would have to spend 1,40,000 just for the automatic transmission alone. So that is basically your call whether you want to opt for an automatic or not. Otherwise, you can go for the most value for money manual variant in this lineup. So that was all what I wanted to discuss and tell you about the Skoda Kushaq 1 liter TSI Ambition Classic manual variant. Do let us know in the comments whether would you consider this variant of the Skoda Kushaq over the Creta, Seltos, MG Aster, or even the other compact SUVs which are available in this price bracket of 12 to 13 lakh rupees. Also feel free to drop any feedback or thoughts in the comments below whether you liked the review or not. Don't forget to like the video if you appreciate our content, and also to help our algorithm a little bit so that we get more views and more subscribers and build a community. Subscribe to our channel for more such content and keep watching Throttle Up.